Today I am going to take up a class on Aerospace Vehicle Structures 1, and the topic name is Thin Walled Closed Section Beams tubes subjected to torsion. So this is basically called as Bred-Bateau theory of torsion. So whenever a thin tube is there and you apply torsion, then the cell is going to twist. So now we are going to find out what is the effect of it and what is this Bred-Bateau theory and what is the rate of twist because of the torsion we apply. So now here we are going to enter the lecture here. So unit 5, thin walled closed section beams subjected to torsion. Here we have some small assumptions, here, and these assumptions are general assumptions like the first one is cell is very thin, and the second assumption is the cell is made up of homogeneous isotropic material which obeys Hooke's law, and the third assumption is the tube is very thin, and the fourth assumption is torque applied at the end faces. So these are the few assumptions we take up before we going to proceed into the topic. So let us draw one thin walled tube, and let us assume this thin walled tube like this, and in this let us consider this is the axis where at the end of this face we are going to apply torque T. And here what I am doing here, considering one small element or elemental strip in this particular tube, and let the distance of it is dx, and let the elemental width is or elemental depth is ds, and this is the area which we are going to take it as a element. So now here, and let us magnifying this picture or the element what we considered. So I'll get an image like this, and on this I'm going to represent, first of all I'm applying torque at this point, and let us consider this height of this is small p, and so since we are covering this complete area, let the area of this element is dA, and let us consider this elemental depth as ds and this width as dx. So now here the concept of shear flow, as we already know, the shear flow is nothing but it is one of the shear loading quantity and which we use for the design purposes. And let us assume the shear flow on this particular surface, top surface, as q1, and let us assume here in place of this dx as q2. So q1, q2 are the shear flows. So now for this particular element I am considering the equilibrium. So equilibrium in x direction, let us consider this direction as x. So equilibrium in x direction. So the shear flow is nothing but shear force per unit length, and so therefore this earlier we considered this elemental width as dx. So this particular q1 should be multiplied with dx to get the force. So therefore, considering this q2 in one direction and q1 in other direction, so q1 into dx, the shear flow multiplied by length, it becomes force. So q1 dx minus q2 dx, that is equal to 0. So from here we can write it as q1 equals to q2, and let us consider q1 equals to q2 equals to q, say. So q is the shear flow. From this point of time, so we can understand one thing, that q1 is constant, q2 is constant. That means we can draw one point over here. The shear flow across the walls is always constant. The shear flow across the walls or across the periphery of the tube is always constant. So from here we can get another one, and the shear stress tau is given by q by t. So this is the shear stress at any point, is given by tau equals to q by t. Now the torsional, let the torsional moment torsional moment on this element, torsional moment on this element dt, that is equals to dt equals to p into q into ds. So this is the torsional moment. So p is this one height and q is the shear flow and then ds is the width. So this is the torsional moment of this particular one. Now here I am multiplying and dividing by 1 2 over here and writing it as 2q into p by 2 into ds. This is like half into p into ds, which is nothing but we can write it as dA. So therefore 2q into dA is the torsional moment on this element. So this is the torsional moment. For the total torsion, what do? We integrate the above one. So therefore if you integrate it, we get T equals to 2 and dA becomes A and Q. So this 2T equals to 2AQ is called Bredt-Bateau formula. Bredt-Bateau formula. So therefore T equals to 2AQ, where T is the torsion and Q is the shear flow. And we can draw one more point over here. We can write as Q equals to T by 2A. Okay, and the units for the shear flow, as we already know it, that is units are nothing but Newton per mm. Okay, so once we get the torque formula here, our next point is to get the rate of twist, because as we applied the torque T over here, so the cell is going to twist. So we need to find out what is the rate of twist for this single cell tube. We are dealing with only one cell. So there in the further classes we are going to get 2 cell 3 cell tube also, but here we are doing with only for single cell tube. Okay, so let's go on doing for that rate of twist. And so to get rate of twist, and we make use of strain energy. So we know that this strain energy is nothing but half into stress into strain, that is equal to half into, so stress, as we are dealing with shear, then we write stress as tau and strain as shear strain, that is stress and strain. So shear stress and shear strain we are going to take. So half into tau into gamma. And for this shear strain, and we know the relationship between shear stress and shear strain, which are related by modulus of rigidity capital G. So therefore we know that capital G equals to shear stress by shear strain. From here shear stress we can write it as, or shear strain we can write it as tau by G. So now here substituting over here half into shear stress tau, and for gamma I am substituting tau by G. And as we know the strain energy, we usually will tell it as strain energy per unit volume. If you multiply the volume also, volume of this cell, T is the thickness of the cell, ds is the width, and we can consider unit width or unit depth. So TDS into 1 is the volume. So strain energy per unit volume, basically this is strain energy per unit volume. So now here tau square by 2G into TDS. And next we are going to substitute Q equals to, we know that it is shear flow, that is Q by T, and Q also we know that is nothing but T by 2A. So I am going to substitute this over here in place of tau square. So I am going to get T square by 4A square T square upon 2G into TDS. So this is the strain energy of an element, that is du. So if you want the total strain energy, and we need to apply this for the complete tube, so we take cyclic integral. So cyclic integral T square by, in fact this is 8A square T square G into TDS, so which gives T square by 8A square T into G into ds. So this is the total strain energy for this cell. And as we know from the concept of the strain energy, the rate of twist is given by partial differentiation of this strain energy with respect to torque T. So therefore cyclic integral, we keeping the same integral and differentiating the internal one. So that is T square becomes 2T by 8a square T g into ds. So finally I am going to get this as T by 4a square gt into ds, rewriting this equation as 1 by 2ag into 1 by 2ag, and what is left here, T by 2at into ds, and replacing this T by 2a as q equals to T by 2a. I am going to write this T by 1 by 2ag, I am writing it as outside as it is constant, cyclic integral of q ds by T. So this is the rate of twist. Formula for rate of twist for a single cell tube. For a single